Welcome to the Brown Space Show. But before we begin, here we go. Again, welcome to the Brown Space Show. Once again, I got my brother from another mother, Cleveland Akins. What's good, bro?
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much, nothing much. So today we're going to be a little sporadic for the audience. We're just going to be talking about a variety of things we just wrote down. So this is going to be, we're going to be bouncing all over the place. But before we begin, we would like to send our condolences out to the Huntington family. Our brothers, Larry and Patrick, they lost their father, and our prayers and blessings goes out to them. So, but we're gonna come back to them, Cleve. We'll come back to them. I'd rather save that. Or we can talk about the shallow stuff first, and then we'll come back to that. That's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. So you go first. What you got? What you got jotting down? What's on your mind?
Well, I was talking to a good friend of mine today, and we were just talking about, first of all, we were just talking about our kids, growing up and being able to, reach out and expand their language, their vocabulary, and everything. So we just were talking about. I was saying, does it make sense for our kids to learn two languages?
And I would say yes. I think indirectly Americans, so it's not just a black thing. I think indirectly Americans have adopted this arrogance that if somebody come to your soil, they need to know the language of English. We've seen those videos, right? We've seen those episodes where people get mad when they hear somebody speak a language other than their own. But as I got older, because I used to think the same way when I was younger, but as I got older, I realized that you should be able to speak a different language. And I would even go as far as say you should be able to speak your neighbor's language.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, our neighbor would be Mexico. So, and above us is Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we already speak the same language as the Canadians, so we should learn Spanish. I think it should be mandatory, and it should start as early as kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Because man was talking, and I was just telling him because my daughter she learned to speak Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
7th grade. I think she started in the 7th grade.
Right.
And I wish I would have known, to which we did focus on, education and but we didn't focus on, expanding her, like maybe sending her to, China for us,
to challenge her even more.
Yeah, because you pick up the language and everything,
right?
Faster, when you're around it,
right?
And I was talking because his son, his son is 8, and we were just talking. I was like, and it was heavy on my mind because for the simple fact, we just was talking about building wealth and just different things of that nature, and I was like, it would be amazing if we knew our ancestors and where they come from, and we can go and send our kids to that country, or but his wife she's from a different country. Her mother's from a different country, and I just was telling him, like, man, like, I wish I would have known to focus and send my daughter to China and allow her to do it
Do you believe in DNA?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's one of the things I want to do. Also, I want to take that African DNA test, and I know it's going to be like a variety of locations because we've been we've been reproducing over time.
Yeah,
So it's going to be a mixture as far as what, but I would like to know the larger percentage, and then I would me personally, I'm going to gravitate toward that. So if it says Nigeria, then eventually I'm going to take that trip to Nigeria. If it says, Gambia or somewhere, I know it's on West Africa somewhere. I just don't know where, but I do want to take that test.
Yeah. That'll be something to find out where your original ancestors come from. And like I was saying, we and him were just talking, and I told him, I said, hey, it'd be good if you could just send him, to his, on your wife's side, send him, over to where she's from.
Yeah, at least for the
summer. And I said, I said the first time you go, y'all, first time, he experienced, y'all take him. Second time, maybe the wife will take him. I said the third time, it'd be great if you could just send him over there. You know what I'm saying? And this would be something, because he's 8 years old. I'm like, he'd get to the point where, by the time he at high school, he would learn the culture, he would learn the language. I said, on top of that, once he graduate from high school, he possibly could go to school over in, in that country.
Where is this country?
India.
Okay.
India.
So do the child know both languages? He's been gravitated toward just pure English because he's been deeply embedded.
Mm-hmm. And I told him, I said, man, I said, I really, I
said, that's kind of sad.
Well, it is, but we learning now.
Yeah, because I have a friend. I also have a friend too. He's Dominican, but his kids are here in the States, and they know very little Spanish.
Yeah.
So when they go back to their homeland, where their father from and their mother from, they walking around like gringos,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
Because you could definitely, I mean, he could definitely benefit from that, because they have cultural wealth. Like,
yeah, and there's a billion people there.
Oh yeah, and it's long. Like, his wife, family, they're there.
Yeah.
And, and they, tradition and like everything is embedded already there. So all he has to do is be introduced to it.
Right.
And it was on my mind heavy. So, I had to text him yesterday and just told him to give me a call.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we up in age and we learning these things like, wow.
Right.
It did this, I should have did that.
But it's never too late.
No, it's never too late. No.
That's the good thing about life.
Yeah, it's not too late for us, because I know I'm definitely gonna learn. I'm definitely gonna learn second.
Yeah, myself, I've been lazy sometimes. Sometimes I skip days, sometimes I skip weeks, but I have to get back into it and jog my memory, And then but I do realize the more I'm there, the better my listening skills become.
Yeah.
It's hard to hear. My challenge is to listen, to hear them out, because it's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fast. So, but I look at it as a challenge, and I look at it as to me, that means I'll never get bored. It gives me something. Mm-hmm. It gives me a challenge. So that's how I look at it.
Because I know, just growing up when we was in New York, like we was speaking Spanish because they spoke it to us.
Right.
We grew up around, Puerto Ricans, and they spoke it to us. And I mean, but it's crazy that I even took it in, in high school. I took Spanish in high school for what, 2 years, 3 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, I couldn't, I could speak, but if a person would say something back to me, I'd be, wait.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, take your time, man. Let's take baby steps.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go change subjects. I'm gonna go off one I have. We kind of dipped on it yesterday, but I'm gonna dip on it for the sake of conversation. The Alpo thing. unless you're you know, unless you are unaware of what's going on. You know, there was a movie called Paid in Full. It was like a inner city classic, so to speak, based off a true story. And one of the characters' name is Apple. He was gunned down on Halloween morning, shot 5 times, and so now people, you know, it's a lot of talk about it or whatever. So he just got out of prison a few years ago. So, you know, what's your take on that? I mean, you're a New Yorker, so.
I'm actually basically from Atlanta, but okay.
I think that.
I'm basically from Atlanta,
okay,
but
so you're people from New York. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, by way of New York.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like, even though he did, I think it was 24 years.
He was in prison for 24 years. Yes.
24 years. Even though
for 3 years.
So, you know, the courts feel like they got justice.
Right.
But the streets don't feel like they got justice.
Right.
So saying that, for how he went down, as far as they considered, you know, him, you know, snitching.
Right.
You know, the streets just felt like, hey, we didn't get justice because, for one, you know, for the crime that he committed, it was some lives taken, and the people who that he took, I mean, they have relatives, they have loved ones.
They have loved ones, right?
That lived, that was still living.
That was still amongst us. That's right.
Pacing and waiting for you to, for you to return to civilization, so they could get revenge. Because justice was served, you know, when it comes to the court, but when it comes to the streets, that's a different type of justice, and they were looking for.
I mean, I you know, because he was charged. He was charged for.
Wasn't it
14 murders?
14 murders, yeah.
Yeah, for 14 murders. Again, we're talking about one of the characters in the movie Paid in Full. It was all based off a true story, and these were young guys. These guys in their early 20s, which is crazy when you think about it. They had a multi-million-dollar drug empire, you know, and 19 and 20 years old. That's crazy. 21 years old.
Yeah,
they're still basically just coming out of teens, becoming teens, you know.
And that goes to show you that young, black man coming from, you know, the streets,
poverty,
yes, for him to, you know, to build a basically an empire.
Yeah, empire on the streets.
Yeah, on the streets.
Yeah.
It's amazing, because I even will connect that to music, because if you look at us, like you look at NWA, Public Enemy, KRS-One, Big Daddy, these guys was 17, 18, Arabian Rakim, like these dudes was 17, 18, 9 years old.
Right.
Selling records.
Yeah.
And one thing about hip hop is really one of the only forms of music where the artist is under 20 years old, because everybody else, they pretty much they get ghostwriters that write for all these other like R&B, you know, all these other different
but
music, but but me saying that is like the American dream. We definitely can, by the form of knowledge, we could turn, you know, a drug dealer, and it's happened, a drug dealer to a stockbroker. I mean, it's guys who get out of jail, they learn stocks and monopolize on, you know, on the industry.
That is true.
They get out and they could turn, you know, rappers into, you know, into billionaires. Look at Jay-Z. And I'm not saying that, you know, that is a small percentage, but we have, all of us have we have it in it, because you have to survive in America. One thing about America, you have to be able to survive. We all have that hustler mentality in us, especially, you know, you was born in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s. I mean, you had to. You had to.
But I think the thing is it's genius that these young minds were able to put this together. And I think sometimes we glorify. It's like a bittersweet type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of look at them as heroes, but then it's not heroic what they're doing because of the substances that they bring into the community. But from a mindset, you're absolutely right. They could be on Wall Street doing things legally from a legal aspect.
They can run a business.
They could be running Fortune 500 businesses. But the thing is, we didn't have the tools. You know, so that was back then. You didn't have the tools, as you know. You have better tools today than we had then. You know, so they're really, you know, but back then, you know, you wasn't introduced. It was a lack of exposure, and that's the part where we coming up, especially in the inner city, that's our age or older. It was the lack of exposure. You know, it's like a lot of black kids can't swim, not because the black folks can't swim, they just was not exposed to water, not exposed to a swimming pool, you know, so stuff like that. But yeah, so that's how it is. That's how I look at it anyway. All right. You back, bro?
Yeah, I'm back. So yeah, so that was definitely when I heard the story, I immediately, you know, thought like, wow. I mean, I don't wish that on no one, but the streets want justice.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I wouldn't have went back to, because it.
Nah, I wouldn't have went back.
So many.
I think that was ego. Yeah,
but so many people die. You know, right when they come back, right in the spot of where they live.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that. I mean, you work hard, you know, to get out of that environment. You know,
yeah.
People be saying give back. I figure you give back by not going back, by not ending back.
Sometimes you give back by taking yourself out of the toxic neighborhood.
Because that's less. It is.
Yeah.
I think it was Steve Harvey said the best thing you could do for poor people is not become one.
Right.
Yeah.
And like they say, the streets are undefeated.
Yeah, they are. They are. They are. We was able to escape, you know, that lifestyle. It was out there.
Yeah.
It was out there, man. And they was recruiting left and right. They was recruiting left and right.
Yeah, that is true.
I think for me, one of the best things my mother could have done was, you know, was to get us out of you know, New York.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it at the time because you know, my family, my friend, my school, like everything was in New York.
Yeah, that was your world. And as a kid, you don't see that, you know. And I remember when moving out of the projects, I was happy, but I was sad. It was like a combination of feelings. And but I knew that my mom was doing something better. I knew it was a better environment, you know. You know, I remember, you know, when she come back saying, yes, we about to move into these apartments and they got wall-to-wall carpet, and, you know, us coming from the projects, and I'm like, wall-to-wall carpet, you know, so I'm like, you know, air conditioning, we didn't have that. those things, those small things that people have now, that's standard, they were not standard. You know, it just wasn't, especially coming up from the projects, or if you was, you know, poor, if you came from poor environments, you know, less fortunate environments, you know. When I got there, man, I was so excited. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. I was so excited just to see the carpet, because we never had carpet. It was just a hard tile floor. But I felt like the Jeffersons.
Yeah, moving on up.
I did. So it did something to me internally. I definitely built my self-esteem. I still went to the same high school, which I supposed to went to North Atlanta, well, North Side, and then it later became North Atlanta, but I continued to go to Archer. So yeah. And that's how we met. Yeah. So okay, so okay, now it's time for you to go for the next list, brother. What you got?
Oh goodness, hold on one second. So I was I was looking. I just happened to look at YouTube, and I saw a video of the video that I sent you with the young lady on there.
Yeah. So who is she? Can you explain that? I've been seeing her name.
Oh, she's supposed to be. What is her name? Brittany.
Some Jenner.
No, it's not Jenner. It's Brittany.
Something with a letter ENNER. Something Ner.
Renner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was on the show DJ Academics.
Right, but who is she?
So she has a baby by a basketball player.
Okay, that's the one everybody been talking about. It's her. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yes. And we typically don't talk about these things, but
no.
A lot of them, even though these are celebrities, it trickles down to the normal average guy. Right. And the reason why it does, because you got people who live a normal, regular people want that lifestyle. And so they try to, duplicate what they see on television and try to do. No, you can't live a lifestyle. Like her son, she had a son by a basketball player. I think he was 20, she was 26.
Okay.
So DJ Academics invited her on the show to explain to her, well, to get her side of the story on, you said you've been with all these different men and every last one of them was high value men, celebrities or whatever.
Right.
And this young guy that you got with, we think you trapped him, right? Because they said you're known for doing this. So she was mad, but for the most part, she came on there just to, explain why she did what she was doing and why she did what she did. And she was saying she was in love with the guy. She did want to be with him. My problem with the whole interview, Daniel, was when he started asking about her son. And
yeah.
She got mad because he told her that, you went for the bag, so that's why you ended up having a baby by this guy.
Right.
Argued him down. No, we was in love and this, that, and the third, and I thought we was gonna be there forever and be together forever. My mind was like, you couldn't have thought that because y'all didn't get married.
Right.
And not to say marriage is forever.
Right.
But it's damn sure it's for right now.
That's the most committable form of a relationship is marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so if you really wanted to make sure that your son had both parents, you would at least took a step to get married. That's one step into actually saying I want us to be together and I want a family.
Right.
Now the next step is to actually do the work. You actually got to do it.
Right.
But she was just trying to justify. No, I felt like we was gonna be together. And she said I wouldn't have had the child if he didn't want it.
Right.
But like I said, my thing is, listen. If you want to make sure that you and the father are gonna be together, require marriage. Get married.
Right.
Get married.
And I think that's again, I'm typing. We just got Erica in. We got Michael Whitman in.
Weidman.
I'm sorry, I pronounced your name wrong. We got Miss LaRonda Carter. She's in the building. So I'm giving y'all shout outs. Erica, oh Lord, here we go. Erica, if I'm not mistaken, I think you like to argue. And
I don't think she likes to argue.
That's not a debate.
I think she just like to have a conversation. She just like to have a conversation.
Yes, but everything is not necessarily to be, Oh Lord, why is that? It's a discussion, right? We're adults, so that's what we do. You can agree, you can disagree. We still fine. We still love you, Erica.
and the thing is, on our show, you got to understand, it's two men. These are
right.
these are our views. Yeah, our views, our experience, and everything. And we love to have the opposite sex and different opinions on here. But and I know she probably saying, "Oh Lord," because of the conversation that we having.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, she will.
You'll be all right. Just go in there and cook that dinner for your husband. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Nah, but yeah. So the show, and at the end, she said that her son, she allows her son to be whatever he want to be. That was another problem I have with that conversation.
Right.
And I was like, okay, so if he want to be, because she said she dated 30 men. And she said, she was not, because she's like a sports model or something like that. And she's been with a lot of guys in the industry.
She's like she's not a model. They're internet. They strip it on the internet and they call them models. Let's be clear.
No, so I don't think she, I don't know. I don't think she stripped, but I think.
Well, what I'm saying? They put on very tight clothes on the body and they call them models, but they don't have a modeling career. They just basically getting someone with a camera while they got a nice body and thirsty guys lust after them. That's the problem. But that's another subject we got to do.
Yeah.
All right. So you just went. Okay. So now I'm gonna go off the Jada Pinkett thing that's been spouting around.
Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead. But hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead. Have your business. All right, you're back. All right, you're back.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. So now I'm going in with the Jada thing, and she do this red table thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. Let me be honest. I did not listen to the entirety of it. I have not played the entirety of it. But one thing that I'm going to play, and that one just it resonated with me. So I'm just going to ask you, does this sound familiar? So check this one out, right? Let me make sure the volume up.
Can you hear? The thing that Will and I talk about a lot. Yeah. Journey. I mean, we started in this at a very young age. 22 years old. I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex. Right. It's like, well, if you love me, you should know. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you love me, you should be able to read my mind. Read my mind. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a huge pitfall. Yeah. Jada says she's grown out of that mindset.
So that was just a little small segment from Entertainment Tonight. But she said something about if you should know what I'm thinking. I hear that a lot of times. I've been in, I've heard that before. Why do women think that men should know what they're thinking? We don't read minds. We don't. That was one thing. And then I just feel like she done humiliated the man enough. Zip it up. Zip it up, Jada. Zip it up. I mean, she just keep going. She said, if you know me, you'll know what I'm thinking. If he knew that, he might probably wouldn't have married you. If he you know what I'm saying? You see my point, Cleve?
Yeah, with Jada Smith, see, the problem is when she came out with that entanglement, she didn't expect to get the reaction she got, because which Will is the one who brought it out. Yeah. It wasn't her. He brought it out. But she didn't think that women was gonna be like, yeah, because men do this all the time. They go out, you know what I'm saying? She didn't expect that. And when she got it, ever since then, she's been on a rampage. Like, she just been, it's like every week she's doing something more to disrespect that man. And but I think this last time, I think women have really said, you know what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? Like,
especially married women, they could see straight through this. Like, you're going too far, because as I was watching the thing from Entertainment Tonight, and they was just showing how people was, twittering in on those comments again. Now, let me say this before I go any further. I feel like what two adults do in their bedroom, that's their business. I'm going to say that. And I think she's wrong by bringing their bedroom to the public.
Mm-hmm.
That's where things went wrong. That's where it went left. Because we can have, as people who are not in the celebrity world, we can have all kind of assumptions of what we heard. I heard this, I heard that, but we don't know them, right? So for her to sit at the table, first of all, with the entanglement thing, she deflated this man. You could see the hurt all over his face. He was hurt.
He was
deflated, and now here she come again talking about all this stuff. I've been, here talking about their sex life, and then
she did the thing with the sex, then she did the thing with Tupac.
The Tupac thing. It's too much. It's becoming overbearing. To me, you're being disrespectful to your husband at this point.
Yeah.
And you think you're doing something solid, and to me, I think a part of her is she going through a midlife crisis. I think she still wants to be relevant, because she's never, if Will Smith wouldn't be in her life, other than Set It Off, yeah, she did Set It Off, and yeah, she did play, but Set It Off was her biggest movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was like supporting cast. We fell in love with a younger Jada. Jada, what have she done lately in her career? We wouldn't even be talking about her. That's just the truth about it.
Mm-mm.
It's all because of Will Smith.
If she was the ride off on the sunset,
yeah,
she wouldn't be missed.
Yeah.
She wouldn't. She wouldn't be missed.
Not at all. Not at all. She had.
And here's the thing: like, Will is in, as far as women are, not just in the United States, all over the world. As far as black men, Will is in the top 5 of women.
Yeah. On the list. He's on the list. He's on the list. So if she's not careful, she will be with the young boy Alcina, whatever his freaking name is. She will be with him, and we'll be somewhere with some hot, new model that's bursting out with a great career, and she'll be looking crazy, trying to get half of it.
Will would not have a problem with getting a younger Jada. He just wouldn't.
No, this one's gonna be exotic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He won't get another Jada. That's for sure.
No, meaning I'm talking about young, how she was young back in the day.
Absolutely. And it's sad, man, because she has to realize, man, the life that she's living. I'm not saying she wouldn't have a good life, because she did play in several roles, and I'm quite sure she did manage her funds or whatever. But the life that she's living right now, that's because of Will.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point of her getting into her being directing a couple of movies and a couple of sitcoms, that was because of Will clout.
Mm-hmm.
See, so for her she need to stop. She need to back up. Don't even talk about y'all no more. Talk about other stuff. And I get it. I think she mean well. Part of me feel like she mean well, but then a part of me like, you're not thinking this thing all the way through, or something going wrong mentally with you. I don't know what's going on, But anyway, I digress.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, bro?
All right, so talking to a friend of mine, and one of the conversations popped up as far as women, what does men consider to be feminine? So, we just talking, and she made the comment as far as she can cook, she can clean. It was a couple of other things she said, and
to say what?
To say that because one of the conversations was men don't want. They say they want a feminine woman, but they don't. They want somebody that they can control. And she was like, so what? She said, so what is a feminine woman? And I said, well, what is your definition? I said, because apparently you think the definition that men give is not accurate. And then that's when she starts saying she can cook, she can clean. So I asked her, I said, well, a man can cook, a man can clean. Is he feminine?
Right.
And she was like, I mean, no, but but I bring other things to the table as well. When it comes to, I said, what else?
Right.
So I started asking, I said, so one thing about being feminine, I told her, it's not something you could turn off and on.
No.
I said, so the last relationship you was in, what did he say? And she was like, he said that I act too masculine. She was like, but the way he act, I feel I would be feminine for the right man.
No, that's not how it works.
So this is what I said. I asked her. I said, so what if you was to get with a man, you dating him,
right,
and you tell him, he tells you, I'll be masculine when I want to be masculine. I'll be masculine for the right woman. I said, how does that sound? And she was like, I didn't look at it like that. I said, yeah, because you can't cut that off and on.
No. You are who you are.
You are who you are. And I told her, I said, you have, I said, because we talked about being submissive, and that's another word that
they I don't know why they don't get
but they think submissive is
submissive is related to being a slave.
Yeah, slavery. And I told her, I said, no, you agreeing to cooperate with a man. That's what being submissive. That's one of the things of being submissive. You're agreeable with a man.
Right.
I said, and I told her, I said, so if you and this person are having a conversation,
right,
and he tells you, well, look, I don't want to continue to keep having this conversation. Well, she'd be like, well, why he has to have the last word? I said, no, he don't have to have the last word. I said, so if you and a guy get into an argument and, he gets loud or whatever, I said, are you going to get loud? She said, yeah. I said, why? I said, I asked her, what was the furthest you have ever went to a man she said, I have swung on a man. And I said, so let me ask you that. I said, so you're telling me that you're feminine, right? I said, name me some well-known women that you look up to that you think are feminine.
Right.
So she started naming it. I said, okay. I said, do you think Martin Luther King's wife was considered to be feminine? And she was like, oh, of course. I said, what about Obama wife? I said, you think she's feminine? He was like, yeah. I said, okay. So we started naming it. I said, do you think any of these women would jump to fight their man? Well, you think they would jump in their man's face to want to fight him?
Right. So Whitman, he says Whitman, right? Whitman. Widener. Sorry, brother, Michael Widener. He said that black woman just gave black women who look up to her the permission to disrespect a black man, whether he's low profile or high profile.
Mm-hmm.
I think you mean what's this new term that the term I say I don't like with
what, feminism? What?
No, not the.
I mean, feminist.
No, when they're talking about the money thing, the status, we're talking about
high value man.
Huh?
High value man. What do you?
Yeah, high value. I think that's what he meant when he said profile, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Then he said black men date outside of their race, which is true. My wife is not African American descent. And Erica, a woman will submit with a man with a mission, will not submit to a man, any man, but the right man. I mean,
what? So let me touch on that. I don't understand what is considered to be the right man.
Well, I think I understand what she's saying. I think I understand what you're saying, Erica. This time,
but because look, I do believe a woman will submit to one man. That's
what I think she's trying to say.
Okay, if that's what she's saying, oh yeah, I totally agree.
That is the right man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That is the right man.
Yeah,
I agree with what she said. So I knew what she was conveying. It just didn't come off. It didn't come off, clear. But yeah. But I think people have the words. It's not a submission is not a bad word.
It's not a bad word.
It really mean that you agree.
Yeah.
You are complying.
Yes.
Men are also submissive to their wives.
Yes. Yes.
And I am submissive.
I'm submissive to mine.
Submissive to me. I don't have a problem with that word. That word. I have no problem with that word whatsoever. We're submissive to each other.
Yes, that's how relationships get built.
That's why we're married.
Yes,
because we agree to live our life. That's part of the submission. That's the beginning of the submission.
Yes, it is. To be agreeable.
That is the beginning of the submission. We agree to live our life together, right?
Yes.
So in that marriage, we have a role to play, and that's when I say I carry traditional values. But okay, let's see what else she got. She put in some more here. Oh, yes, that's what I meant. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Okay, we agree with that. Well, we on one. We finally agreed to something.
Brown Spade 4, Erica 1.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Nah, but we definitely have to. You have to agree in order for your marriage to work.
She said they never talk about that part though. As far as men are submissive to their wives. Even if a man don't mention it, why does it hurt you that they're talking about a woman being submissive? See, that's the part. You still trying to, well, they don't say this, so it must be this. You can't be like that, Erica. That's what a lot of sisters are always trying to compare oranges and apples. So yes, when we're talking about being submissive, if we're men, we're not talking about men. We're talking about women most of the time, in most cases. You know what I'm saying? Unless we specify, okay, today we're talking about men. So if their conversation is talking about women being submissive, then that is the subject. So we try to stick to the subject.
Yeah, but it's some men who are not submissive to.
No. She was saying why they don't. She's saying why they don't never mention the part of men being submissive. That's what she meant in her statement. You see what I'm saying, Clay?
Yeah.
She's saying when we talk, they don't never present the part of them as men, us being submissive in conversation. That's what.
But I've never heard a man. For most part, most men will agree. But because they don't want the backlash and they don't want to argue with their significant others. I mean, most men do. Most men are submissive, to their marriage, to their relationship.
Yeah, he's already committed.
Yeah.
If he's married to you, he's already been submissive. He go out there work, busting his ass every day for his family. That's being submissive. What are you talking about? He don't have to say that. It's in action.
Yeah.
It's in action.
It is in action.
It's in motion. It's in motion.
It is in action.
Yeah.
Every day he go out here and have to battle the world and have to. I mean, yeah.
He got to go through traffic. Well, first of all, if y'all might probably you have to understand that you should send him off right. Not saying you personally, Eric. I'm just saying a woman in general, okay? I want you to get personal with me. I'm saying that she should send him off right, meaning he should not leave the house upset because he have to deal with other things going to work, okay? He dealing with traffic. Once when he get in traffic, he may not like his job. Most people don't like their job. Now he got to deal with the characters around the job. He's dealing with all these different characters, these people, these weirdos. Sometimes it may be his freaky supervisor. So he's dealing with all these other elements. So he need to be sent off right. He need to be and then when he go through all this hell, when he return back, he need to be coming back home to his heaven, which is his house, his castle. So and you need to set the tone. So when he walk in, he feel like, hey, this is my serenity. That's the part that a lot of sisters miss. Not saying you, I'm just talking in general. And we have to have these conversations. And that's why we got this show, because we're going to have all these conversations. Mm-hmm. Weidman said yes. He totally agreed.
Yeah, we submit in a totally different way, but it's the way that it was designed too. That's the way it was designed, because you got to understand. We are built, to protect and provide, and basically conquer the world, and then come home and present the best version of ourselves to y'all. I mean, that's what we do. Now you got some knuckleheads out here, but we don't even talk about it. We don't even discuss those.
Yeah, we're not discussing them because we don't represent those type of men.
And we feel that we deal with and we socialize with those type of men. So we're bringing to you the type of men who submit to their wives and to their relationships. Okay,
Erica, she chimed in again. And then after that, we have Miss Carter. She's she say listening. Okay, so Erica got I think because it's always pointed to the woman to be submissive. Here we go. That's why we should talk about the man is being submissive. And see, that's when you go wrong again, Erica. You can't tell men what to do. We're the men. You don't tell us what to do. We're the head. Okay, so if you're gonna follow that. If you're gonna follow that structure, it's supposed to be God, man, woman. All right? Stop trying to tell men what to do.
But I don't. The reason why is always.
We agree.
The reason why it's always brought up to women, because women are the ones who have a problem with the word submissive. Men, we don't. Y'all have the problem with the word.
Yeah, and it's not.
We don't fight it. We don't.
Yeah, we're not. We're living it, and that's the part. We don't have to. She wants to hear these words. That's irrelevant. You don't work. You don't look at what a man say. You look at what a man do. Yeah. A mouth will say anything. Yeah. His actions will tell you what he care about. What's important to him, his actions, not his mouth. So don't worry about what a man says. You watch what he does.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Because his actions is if a man action is showing you he's being submissive, he cares. He cares. Yeah, he agrees with the fact that we're gonna walk these dogs, like Method Man say, and make sure that I'm gonna make sure you okay.
He's paying that mortgage. He's coming home, making sure your car got gas in it. That's being submissive. He's making sure he changing your oil on your car or getting it changed. Those are things of being submissive to that's his commitment. Okay? His submissiveness, when he gave you that ring, that was his saying, I'm gonna be submissive. So if you got one of those, say no more.
Yeah.
Be thankful.
Especially in the city of Atlanta. It's 1 to 30.
Yeah.
It's 1 to 30. And that's another topic.
Yeah.
So
and another thing I want to say too, because another thing came across, I was chiming through YouTube, and it was talking about, we have these the sisters, they be adopting these false titles. You know, now it's the, you know, what it was, hot girl summer. This is what they say. I'm not saying this. Again, I'm gonna repeat it again. I'm not saying this. Boss bitch, you know, the word they like to use, all these crazy titles or whatever. But basically saying that you're successful, whatever. Again, I can't say it enough. In Cleveland, we can't say it enough. Men do not care about women money. They don't. And if a woman if she can't switch the gears and know that, okay, even if she's running a bit her business, even if she got the entrepreneur spirit, but if she don't know her role when she get back with that man, when she come back home, and she still got this invisible crown on her head that doesn't exist, then she's gonna have problems. She will have problems. So I think we have to stop adopting these types. Queen too. But anyway.
Well, you a queen has to have
a queen without a king. Let me say that.
A queen has to have a king.
So if you single, don't call yourself no queen if you ain't got no man in your house, because a queen got to have a king. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's gonna be a topic that a lot of people are gonna disagree with. And as far as considered to be a queen, like it's a lot that come with that. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
All these names, you know, are false notions, really. In my opinion, that's how I feel about it. You know, I feel like why we just can't be us? What's wrong with us being? We don't like being who we are. What's wrong? People don't understand the word diva. They better look that word up.
Yeah, diva's not a good. It's not a good.
It's not a good word. Y'all stop carrying on these false notions, man. Let's stop. Let's get out of that. Let's not be influenced by Atlanta Housewives and Love and Hip Hop and whatever that damn tattoo shop place that. We got to get out of that. If we're trying to move forward as a community, we have to get away from those things, okay? But your diet is not just what you eat. It's also what you consume with your eyes and ears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
what kind of diet are you listening to when you cut your TV on? What kind of diet are you watching? Is it making you think, or you just like the trash? You like the garbage? Yeah. Be honest. Yeah.
Hey, so we started off talking about sending our love and sending love and strength to the Huntington family.
Hold on, we're gonna do a special segment. Hold on, Cleve. Let me hold on a second. Give me a minute. I'm trying to make this thing here. Okay. Then I'm gonna let you open it up.
All right.
Okay, my brother, open it up.
All right. So what I was gonna say is, we grew up, with the Huntington family on the west side of Atlanta, and when we first moved here, one of the first men that I got a chance to meet was Larry Huntington. And Mr. Larry was good man. Still, his energy when I was around him was always, he was always make you laugh.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna make you laugh. He gonna start off cracking a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gonna ask you, how your day went.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing he gonna do, he gonna give you some words to live by. He always got a word for you.
Yeah.
And I never forget when I first met him, he told me, he was like, you know, I got boys around your age. You know, when they come here, you know, I want y'all to hang out, I want y'all to meet.
Right.
And I remember when I first met Pat, which was his oldest son.
Right.
Me and Pat, we hit it off pretty good. We were the same age.
Yeah.
And then Larry.
Yeah.
And Raven. And of course, Miss Pat. And in that community, you know, we really became a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We became a tribe. And it was crazy because like that whole little block, everybody's door was open. We used to go in and out of each other's house.
Yeah.
In and out of each other's house. Miss Pat down there cooking.
Yes.
Down there cooking. Then Johnny came.
Yeah.
Tiny came. Like we was. I'm talking about Taffany came. Like we had a community. And when I tell you, it was a beautiful thing because Larry and Pat, you know, they became my brothers. I mean,
yeah.
You know, we played sports together. We partied together.
Yeah.
We hung together. We fought together.
Yeah.
Like we really, you know, became a brotherhood.
Yeah.
You know, and Mr. Larry would definitely be missed. Yeah, he would definitely be missed because he was him and Mr. Ronnie was like, you know, they was like, you know, father figure to me.
Yeah.
And they stayed talking to us just about life, you know, just about different things. And I promise you, I've never seen a person who took pride in just working.
Yeah.
Just being able to provide for his family.
Yeah.
And come home. I mean, yeah. He's definitely gonna be missed.
I remember Larry them when they first came around. They was very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It was very kind of timid. You know, we used to hang in that gazebo. That was our hangout, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a little older, so when they came around, and it was guys older than myself as well. So it was like you had like a variety of people, and everybody was like a gumbo because everybody was from different places. You know, I'm from Atlanta. You know, Cleveland coming from by the way of New York, from Savannah, South Carolina, somewhere around that way. By to Atlanta. Then you had Lindell from Louisiana, and the Huntingtons, they came from Mobile, Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a lot of people from a whole bunch of different places, and it was beautiful because it all meshed together.
Yeah, it was like a pot of gumbo.
Yeah. And I remember, you know, Mr. Hunt, I just remember him always smiling. I remember him always happy. You know, he loved his beer. You know. But he was a happy man. He was a family man. And like Cleveland said, you know, but me and Cleveland talked about this on yesterday, that we would do this and give our condolences. We would dedicate this show to the Huntington family. May he rest in peace. But it was a good family. Like I said, when I saw him nothing but a positive man. He was very tall. When I first saw him, man, he's tall.
Oh yeah, he was tall.
Yeah, man, he was like NBA tall, you know.
Yeah.
And but always had a good spirit. I never seen him, you know. I never. 99% of the time, he was always happy. He was always smiling.
Yeah, smiling.
He went out here and provided for his family, and so, you know, we're just giving you your roses, and we appreciate you being a part of that community, because, you know, it wasn't a lot of father
figure.
So you was one of the fathers there.
Yeah, he was definitely like the father up to the neighborhood. He was
one of the fathers of the neighborhood.
Yeah, he was the father because all of us, we didn't have a father figure.
We didn't. That's true.
Yeah, so he was like the father of it was nothing but women, you know, single, and he was like the father figure. Him and Ronnie.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny.
You didn't see it wasn't a lot of. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of.
It wasn't a lot of men around.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He just had a beautiful spirit about him, and I always remember that. And Pat, Man, my condolences goes out to you. Larry, my condolences goes out to you. Your dad, Ray.
Yes.
Y'all dad did a good job. Y'all had a good dad.
Yeah.
And he's not dead because he lives through you, you know, because a man continued to live through his kids.
Through his kids.
Grandkids. That's a part of us being reproductive, you know, when it comes to making children. So that is he's not gone. He's gone physically, but his DNA is all in y'all. He's right there with you. So just know that. Just know that. Yeah. What else you got, brother?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to know. One more thing, I gotta say, go Braves. You know, they about the only thing that I cheer for. But I'm gonna say this, but on record, I've always been the Red Sox guy because I'm a Yankee hater.
There you go.
I'm a Yankee hater. So, and I'm out with the Braves. I always say if they do the right thing, they'll always be there. Now they're doing the right thing.
Hey, listen, go like the podcast that we did today. Share it, subscribe.
Yeah.
And on that note, I mean, my last words is it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day. And LaRonda, she said she can't get no work done because this is a great topic. So I guess she enjoyed the show. And again, for the people who chimed in, Miss Sterling, Miss Carter, and Mr. Weidman, thank you for coming in. We appreciate y'all. We out.